Bang, bang. Bow, bow.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Hold on a second. Dudes Like Us Dash podcast. Dudes Like Us Dash Woodcraft.
Are you certain that any of those are accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
It is July 31st. It's the last day of July.
Those are dudes like us dash dudes.
Dudes.
Huh, interesting. Well, there's white dudes like for Kamala.
Oh, that is
Were they
so
nude?
bad.
Oh my God.
Were they nude?
Oh,
I don't know,
so
man.
bad.
It was a bunch of C-list actors that were...
It was almost embarrassing.
It got to
Yeah.
be so embarrassing.
They were like, oh, just the masculinity issue. And I was like, man, just shut up.
But you see how that's so... How they're just exploiting race. White women for Kamala. White men for Kamala. I mean, why...
Could we get away with, well, not us, but black guys for Trump?
How about Americans for Kamala? How about
Exactly.
Americans for Trump? Why?
agree.
Why do we keep doing this?
Well,
Because they have to keep separation.
easy.
They have to.
We have a whole podcast here. It's
Well, let's get
July
into it.
31st.
We're coming
It's-
out of the gate hot.
Yeah, it's July 31st, last of 2024, in case some of those people will listen to this podcast, because that happens a lot.
Well,
You know,
we've been
people
doing it for 4 or 5 years. You could
Yeah.
click on a
Crazy.
podcast from way back when.
Oh, my. And it's
Back
crazy
when
to go back that far. Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
Regretfully, I announced Mr. Austin isn't with us tonight.
He is not. We're on an off night. We're on a Wednesday.
It is an off
Yeah.
night. And good news for Austin. I'll share with you. He's got some sort of scholarship where his college is going to be paid for.
That's
Dude,
outstanding.
that is outstanding.
Yes. So so he's all set up for school, and right now he's got the challenge of trying to figure out where he's going to go, and it looks like he's going to be targeting A&M to get his
good.
chemical engineering degree.
I know he's talked about that in the past, and I don't know if he strayed from that or had other thoughts,
No,
but that's good. It's
he's
a good program.
I'm proud of him. He has had, like all kids growing up, you got your struggles, and and I shared with them, look, man, I'm glad you had those struggles, because without those struggles you can't appreciate the good times. Life is a sine wave. It goes up and down, up and down. You got to take the bad with the good, and you got to take the good with the bad. And that's basically the premise of Dudes Like Us podcast.
Mhm.
We talk about the good and the bad. We talk about growing up in life, how that all three of us grew up in different scenarios. Paul grew up in a homosexual factory.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was it Thailand or Indonesia?
I'm not sure how that's a homosexual factory, but
I don't know. I just kind of
actually it's probably the opposite, because I mean that's the kind of place where they push you off of buildings if you're a homosexual. Right?
I
They
didn't
just
know
like
that.
the kids over there, don't they? Or is that Vietnam?
Like pedophile-ish
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
there's a lot of pedophiles that moved to one of those countries over there because it's not as frowned upon.
I mean,
think.
look,
I
I'm
don't
not.
think that's Indonesia.
I'm not for pedophilia, of course. That's kind of crazy. I mean, but the thing is, if you think about our history, they were these. If you there's grass on the field and they're bleeding, play ball. I mean, that's kind of the policy they were. Hey, look, man, these like.
Well, I think back then the lifespan wasn't as long,
Yeah, it's different.
and you were on. Well, I don't know how far back you're going, medieval times
It doesn't
or whatever.
matter. It doesn't matter. The point is that the children have an emotional aptitude at a certain age, and when they drop that first menstrual cycle, they're like, it's on. You now have the ability to bear children. So
And to be given away by your family
Yeah,
to
guess what?
some guy that's 20 years older.
20 years older.
I think that was
that's
way back
so-
in the medieval times. Like
Oh, yeah.
the old,
we just
old
scored
school.
15 chickens and 5 goats.
Right.
Bring it.
So gross.
By the
Yeah,
way,
But that's the way the world was, man.
it was.
And it was accepted. That was back when the Barbary pirates were stealing white people and making them slaves.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about that though.
Oh,
Doesn't fit the narrative.
No, it really
No.
kind of doesn't.
Yeah, that's kind of sad, but true. Man, I'd like to see those Metallica bands. What is that called when someone's not a real?
Cover band.
God damn my brain.
Cover band.
Yeah, well, we went to the Revel,
Yeah.
and they had the.
That's all they are, right?
Yeah,
Cover
fucking
bands.
you, Jeff. You were all into it. Whoa.
No, they were good, man.
bro." And I was like, "Damn, dial it
Oh,
back,
you're talking
brother."
about Metallica? You
Yeah.
were like an 8-year-old, just so
Oh, it was great.
gleeful.
Sitting there and
He knew the words of every
looking at it,
song.
had a little
was good.
drool on his face, and he was like, "Fuck it, I know we smuggled in a bottle of bourbon, but he just sat there, had it in his hand. He was like, woo, just slam it back." I'm like, "Dude, dial it back,
Yeah,
bro."
you were having a ball that
That was
night.
good. They actually were pretty good. So,
Yeah,
from
they
what I
actually
remember,
were.
They were.
they were the pre-band before the place caught on fire.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
So one thing that's exciting is the Olympics has been going on.
The sports side, unfortunately, the opening ceremonies was a train wreck.
It was.
I watched
Well-
it, and I sat downstairs. Julie was
I didn't
still
watch
out of
it.
town. Julie was still out of town. When was it? Last Friday. And Stephen and I, because I had recorded it, because I like watching the opening ceremonies with Julie, but she watched it down in Florida when she was there. So I watched it with Stephen, and we were watching it, and it was terrible.
It was
Outside
terrible.
of the controversy, it was terrible.
right.
And the choreography, the dancing, the music was terrible. In my opinion, whoever art designed that and choreographed that thing should be canned.
right.
In my opinion.
Well, and then they hit the really scandalous part.
Well, yeah.
No, well,
then you had the controversy on top of that.
Yeah, the
Right.
segment which resembled the biblical scene of Jesus Christ and his apostles sharing the last meal before his crucifixion, and it featured drag queens.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't care. Drag queens, I don't care. I don't care. There's room for everybody in this world.
Right.
Okay? If you want to suck dick, I don't care. It's none of my business. I don't care. I don't share my wife in our intimacy.
Right.
It's not out there. I don't. You know what really bothered me is if you look at the ceremonial dinner for the actual Olympics, there's a little kid on the left. He's wearing yellow, and there's a dude right next to him with his junk hanging.
Yeah,
out.
his nuts were hanging out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so inappropriate.
It doesn't make
And it's
sense to me. And they
these-
claimed it was not
Man,
the
fuck
Last
them.
Supper. They said it was,
Whatever.
like,
Dionysius or
Yeah,
whatever
no,
his name
that's
is.
all bullshit.
I don't believe
I
that.
think they're
Fuck
trying
at
to cover
all.
their ass on that. is what
It's
it
all
is.
bullshit, and it's just like, when are Christians going to stand up and say enough's enough? Is this what happened back in with the Crusades, where we were like, fuck it, it's all on, because look, I'm going to say some things that are going to be pretty fucked up right now
Oh,
regarding
boy.
Muslim religion. Okay, they're coming in hot across the planet.
Oh, yeah.
And look, again, I don't care. Muslim, in my opinion, I have the same opinion about Muslims as anybody else. Everyone has the freedom to do what they want, but you can't impose your way of life on the regular day people. And if you want to have that lifestyle, then you can go back to a country that tolerates that kind of lifestyle. Sharia law, unaccepted. It's unaccepted here in the United States, but yet they continue to jam it down our throats. New York City has come up with their own police department.
MCP.
That was crazy. I was hoping it wasn't real.
And you know what? Dudes Like Us podcast, I really hate talking about politics and this kind of shit. It's because it's all negative and ugly. But you know what? It needs to be said.
So what's the story behind this now? They look like cops. Their cars look like cop cars.
Yeah.
And what was Muslim something?
Muslim Citizen Patrol.
Yeah.
Muslim
So
Citizen
they're
Patrol.
going around imposing
telling people not to drink or not
The Sharia, isn't it?
imposing Sharia law.
You can't.
And I don't.
How'd that pass the sniff test, or did they just do it without anybody
They're
knowing?
not asking. There's no permit. I mean, I'm sure they got a permit, but
You realize it's illegal to impersonate a police officer, like highly.
I don't
highly
think
illegal.
they're impersonating a police officer.
Sure looks like it.
They have a little badge.
Actually,
but
that's actually an excellent point. Because
They
if
absolutely are.
because they have a vehicle
Yeah,
and
those
they
look like a
look
cop
similar and they've got the whirly lights on. If that thing pulls up behind you and turns its lights on, you're going to pull over because you're obligated to.
Did it have lights?
Oh yeah, it's a cop car.
Then it's 100% against the law.
well, they're going to be afraid to do anything in New York City.
That sucks, man. And again,
I think.
I don't care. I mean, everyone's got a wiggle. Everyone's got their own thing in life. If religion, sexuality, whatever floats your boat. I mean, within, no pedophilia, that kind of crazy shit. But just like everybody's got their own stuff going on, and you got to make room for everybody. It's one big melting pot. That's what the United States makes us so great.
Right.
And the fact is that we're a melting pot.
Well, the
we're
assimilation
an infusion of everybody.
Well, the assimilation is not happening
Yeah,
anymore.
we have to
No.
meld. These people aren't. What is the word? Integral. Well, they're not. They're not meshing with each other. What is it called? They're when someone comes appropriating. No.
No, assimilating.
Assimilating
They're not assimilating.
to the
Yeah.
American culture.
Yeah, it's like, look, man, I'm not talking about it needs to be hamburgers and hot dogs and fucking baseball games. I mean, but God bless it. You know what? There is a core belief in the United States. And we separated because we don't want a monarch. And even though they're trying to say, with Donald Trump, he's going to be this king. You can't be king. Project 2025 and all this other bullshit. And they're like, what does Joe Biden do? He lies. They're the ones fucking lying.
I know.
They're the ones with all this gaslighting. I tell you what, before this election, this campaign, between now and the end of the year, it's going to be just one nonstop gaslight program.
It is.
It is. And I think Kamala's going to get off easy because I think this is timed to her benefit because she could basically hide for 96 days.
Yeah, not do anything.
Yeah, well, just like Biden did,
Yeah, she doesn't need to, she's talking big shit about, having a debate and everything. But
well, that's just it.
when do you do it? September?
The question is when do you do the debate? In my opinion, just for the record, my opinion is do the debate now. Do it right fucking now.
I don't even think she will do one.
She said she wants to.
Say
bring
it to my
Let's
face.
do it face to face. Oh, shut the front door. And you know what? Who knows? She did make. What was it? District. What was her job?
She was a district attorney.
Yeah, district.
And then the senator from California.
No, she can memorize and speak well. Joe Biden could.
She just sounds like a drunk.
It's just her policies. She's starting to, I don't know if she really is, but her team is releasing notes. Oh, well, she's for fracking now. Oh, well, she's against gun mandatory buyback. Oh, she's against this. Oh, she's against that.
Yeah, that shit's not going to cut it.
Yeah, she's trying to totally reinvent herself.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
To make her electable.
Yes, it just whatever. She's
I know.
not going to win. And if she does win, it's obviously blatant stealing. They stole the election, and I'll say it again.
Yeah.
You realize if she wins, it's probably going to be 12 years of Democrat presidency. Biden 4, then her 8.
Or there'll be a civil
What a
civil war.
tragic.
Really, because I mean, they will bankrupt us. We'll be a third world country because they'll have all these third party entities just popping out of nowhere. These cells that are deciding to like blow up kids' schools. It's going to be total anarchy, chaos.
I mean, I don't think that plays into who's in the presidency. I think there are so many.
Well, there's so many now.
So many cells that have now can't come over and they're forming that it doesn't matter who's in the presidency. We're going to start seeing an uptick in terrorism. It's not really even domestic terrorism. It's terrorism domestically. Right?
Yeah,
See the
correct.
difference? These are not homegrown terrorists. These are foreign-born terrorists, right?
But I'll tell you, I think that the next one is going to the next terrorist attack isn't going to be a simple bomb going off, not a building falling down. I think that they're going to go balls in. It's going to be some sort of viral,
Like COVID. They're going to release a virus.
No, like what I'm kind of brain farts, man. But it's just releasing something like anthrax or something like that. Just something that will completely just blow up a whole city. Which, don't get me wrong, I don't want anyone to die. But if you're going to put anthrax anywhere, I would appreciate it to be in a place where you got a bunch of people that don't care.
Well, I think if someone really wanted to harm the United States, it's our electrical grid.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, they attacked France's rail station, rail and power.
And our electrical grid is
interesting, too.
ancient as well. Because if you knock
Very
our power
vulnerable.
out, millions of people will die.
Yeah.
30 days without power, millions of people will die. It sounds crazy, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, and that's terrifying.
That'll happen.
That's crazy.
That'll happen because you have a lot of old people. All of a sudden, their ACs are out. They're all dying.
The infrastructure will collapse.
The food will collapse because there's no refrigeration.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hospitals don't work because there's no power.
Yeah. So interesting enough. Regarding the banking systems and the collapse.
Nobody has money. Everything's in the cloud.
BlackRock has money, and Chase has money.
No cash.
And there is
if there's no power, how they can have no access to it.
Language in Ukraine that both Chase and BlackRock have invested $400 billion in the redevelopment of Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is going on there?
Well, I mean, isn't that to rebuild it? You're saying? I mean, to rebuild.
Yes.
I mean,
but why?
it's been torn apart. I mean, it's this
okay, but why?
They're in it to make money.
Yeah, but what are they doing over there? I mean,
Rebuilding buildings.
yeah, I know, but why? Yeah, money, but there's something.
You think there's a nefarious reason?
That's exactly the word I was going to say.
Nefarious.
There's something fucked up going on. There's something dark and sinister that's going on over there, and I'm worried. And the fact that everyone's trying to get that over there, China's over there trying to claim precious metals and resources, and Putin's trying to, he's there in a nonstop battle right now, but yet we don't hear shit about it.
Right.
All we hear is Kamala Harris, off. Whatever, man.
Well,
Move
welcome to doom and gloom dudes like us.
Yes.
Well, you know what? That's been the last couple of days, dude. It's not me.
I know.
All this shit is being imposed on us. Post Donald Trump assassination attempt.
Well, they're really trying hard to say that never happened. He never got shot by anything.
Oh my God! I mean,
to zoom in on his ear. Well, there's nothing there.
I was shocked when you sent the other night. somebody's search on AI, and I was like, that can't be real. And I did it myself on ChatGPT. I typed in, what is the difference between the Donald Trump assassination attempt and Kamala Harris's presidential campaign? And it said, well, one is false and one is true. I was like, what do you mean it's false? I pressed it, and I was like, how are you saying it's false when there's mountains of video and news articles? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. There was an attack on Donald Trump's life. I was like, but people don't, if they don't press.
Right. Someone didn't ask that next question.
Yeah, they're going to ask. They're going to believe the first answer, which is freaking ludicrous.
Right.
They're saying it never happened. It was misinformation.
And then there was also, again,
I don't understand how they get away with that shit.
Yeah, and there's also screen grabs and videos of them using Google.
Oh, and suppressing the pictures, right?
Yeah, suppressing the pictures. Although I tried it, the pictures came out fine with me. But that was after the fact, so I wonder if Google went, ooh.
Yeah, Google went in there. They did a little bit. Because they admitted there were some anomalies in the program. They're like, oh, there was something that's going on here. But it wasn't anything. It was an AI-generated thing.
How come it always goes one way, though?
Right. It's never, Yes. Oh, we accidentally, deleted a bunch of liberal things.
Oh, yeah. We didn't say Kamala Harris was made up. She's not really running.
Right.
It's the Trump thing.
But, Elon Musk is jumping right into the fray, man. He's pointing out, this is strange. Is this election interference? And I'm like, go, good for him.
Newsflash. Hey, Stan from the Celt?
Yes.
So I reached out to him. He's going to accept it. He's going to be on. He says he wants to be on the podcast.
He's
out of town until August 13th. So after that, he says he can join us.
Outstanding.
That's cool.
So
That'll
I'm
work.
looking forward to that.
Cool.
Does he like bourbons?
I'm
whiskeys?
sure he does. I'm sure he does.
All right.
Yeah.
So I invited he and
does he wear a kilt?
A kilt?
A kilt, yes.
He doesn't have to.
Does he wear a human, a kilt?
God.
A kilt.
If he's listening, you don't have to. So just come dressed casually.
No, Paul wants you naked.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. But back to Elon Musk. So,
we were talking about Elon.
We were talking about Elon, and then he gets into this with Maduro, the dictator from Venezuela.
Hold on, slow down. So let's start with Elon Musk. What were we talking about right before Elon Musk?
We were talking about how
he's exposing a lot of the
bullshit.
Google, Facebook, all that shit.
Yes.
The AI, the meta AI.
He has been very vocal about everything going on in the world. Like he's not shy about commenting on, oh, that's election interference, and oh, that's a sham election in Venezuela, and all this kind of stuff, right? And so he was saying something about basically mocking Maduro and that election because it was clearly bullshit,
right?
And Maduro apparently fires back and says, I'll fight you anywhere, anytime, anywhere. Like let's meet and fight. I'm like, what a fucking moron.
That's your leader.
Like
that's kind of a Joe Biden comeback. You want to go in the back?
Let's go
silly pony horse soldier.
That's a completely 10-year-old response.
Pony.
Is that what Joe?
What does he say? A pony?
Pony horse soldier.
Yeah, what are you, a pony horse soldier? Joe, shut the fuck up. This is 1943. All right.
It's so crazy. I mean, anyway. I mean, I think social media is very detrimental for some people. But anyways, but this Venezuela thing. Wow, did Kamala Harris jump out early on this one and say, the people of Venezuela have spoken. We need to honor their votes. I was like, we have a responsibility as being the beacon of freedom and democracy to question whether or not it's legitimate, and if it isn't, then we're supposed to speak out about it.
Well, I saw some footage of some police officers taking off their
Yeah,
gear.
that happened. Yeah,
Taking off their gear because they weren't going to go battle the citizens.
Oh, dude, they're rioting hard apparently in that country right now. They're tearing up shit, and they're finding every Hugo Chavez statue they can find and defacing it, and they're not happy. I mean, it's clearly bullshit going on down there, right?
Oh, yeah, Venezuela's not a good place right now.
Oh, no. But the worst people have already come here.
Yeah, they're all here now.
Right.
He released them
all
from
the
prison.
MS-13 gang members.
Yes.
Unbelievable. All right. Anyway, so let's see. What other uplifting news? Oh, let's talk about the Israeli assassination. That happened like yesterday or today, didn't it?
What happened?
This is where, I mean,
well, they sent missiles in and killed the dude, right?
2 of them.
Yeah.
So they took out a commander in Lebanon, in Beirut, right? Took out a commander, the Hezbollah commander, and then they took out if not the top guy, one of the top guys of Hamas, who was in exile in his comfy Qatar.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he was in Iran, and he had just met with the freaking Khomeini.
Well, I saw. Well,
the
Ayatollah.
Yeah, the supreme leader, and like this dude, they got into the deepest of the deep information, and were able to pull off a major assassination attempt in the heart of Iran. It wasn't an attempt;
it was
no. I mean, it's a success. Yeah.
Have you watched?
Unbelievable.
Have you watched the TV show Tehran?
No.
It's outstanding. Anyway,
how old is it?
It's a couple years old.
What's the context of it?
It's about the Mossad putting in an undercover agent. I think she was originally from Iran. She was a Jew in Iran because there used to be Jewish people there. Right?
Oh yeah, Jews everywhere.
And they went to Israel, and she went in. Her parents didn't, and she ended up joining the Mossad. And she went back as a spy,
right?
And she infiltrated the power company because they needed to knock the power out in order for their bombers to fly over, to knock the radars and everything out.
No way.
So it's her trying to weasel her way into this power company, get into these certain rooms and shit. It's outstanding. It's really, really good.
So is it like a docudrama?
It's about 8 series. No, it's a show.
It's just a fictional.
Yeah. There's 2 seasons.
Dude, Mossad is pulling that shit off all the time.
Yeah, so this is good. It's intense.
Yeah. Oh, it's on Apple TV though.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Dude, that looks good. I like shit like that.
And he's the Iranian investigator.
All right.
It's good. I recommend it.
So Mossad. So Mossad is like, dude, very like unreal. That's why you don't fuck with Israel, man. Because they're going to come after you no matter where you are.
It's amazing. You've got such a small country that has such a big venomous bite.
Big time, man.
You know?
But you talk about, they always talk about climate change being an existential threat. They know what an existential threat means.
Well, Iran has come out today that says that they're commencing operations against Israel.
Bring it. I mean, Israel's going to,
and
Israel's going to match it and make them totally regret it.
They blame the United States.
Oh,
for
they
this
always
too.
do. They always do.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of Israel, did you hear about the Israeli soccer players in the Olympics were playing Mali? Okay, and they were playing the Israeli national anthem before the soccer match, and there were people in the stands waving Palestinian flags, chanting Heil Hitler.
Yes.
And doing the stupid salute, the Nazi salute.
That's why we don't have video.
Fucking real.
Paul was high stepping.
I got flashbacks of us going to a movie theater.
God. It wasn't even against Germany. It was Japan. You guys
Germans.
That's why we were confused. We're like, Paul, this is a different one.
Over now.
I could never be that drunk. It's impossible. Anyway, can you believe that shit? I mean, unbelievable.
Well, I give credit to those athletes because you knew they were going to get shit.
Oh yeah,
they're going to get shit upon.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yes.
Anyway, I you know what? I hate what's happening in Gaza, but I know that Israel has to do what it has to do.
And they're doing everything that we would be doing. I mean,
oh no.
Well, I would hope that we would be doing.
We would be the biggest pussies ever and never do that.
Well, I mean, it depends on who's sitting in the seat. With Biden, god damn. I mean, I'll tell you what. That's one thing during the today they had the National Association of Black Journalists. right? And I wish I don't know if I have a
Yeah,
soundbite of that.
they invited Donald Trump to speak
They invited both.
Biden
Oh, that's
and Donald Trump, and then Biden backed out of
because of his
well, yeah, 'cause
circumstances. Yeah,
he's out, and so it's still sitting there.
Well, they invited Kamala Harris when she said she would
Correct.
join virtually, and they said no. But did you know how fractured that made that organization? There are people who quit the organization when they found out that they were going
They
to
resigned, yeah.
Yeah, when they were
Yes.
going to allow Donald Trump to speak there.
Yes.
I mean, dude. So yeah, I mean, it's. And then they spewed the same stuff. You're going to have somebody sit on this stage that hates black women and was not, endangered black journalists when he was in office. I mean, just all this bullshit, all this fake lies, fake news and lies. I'm just like, they're just regurgitating the same crap, man. It's crazy.
But it's all lies is the
I know.
thing. And again, I don't understand why people believe it, for one thing.
Well, they're so brainwashed.
So I'm gonna pull up a little clip, and hopefully I can capture it here. Just bear with me a second.
No, just of the. This is of Donald Trump speaking.
Yeah, so this girl comes out.
It was the opening question.
It immediately attacks.
Yeah, so here we go. So he walks out, and look how fast she turns this thing around. Is totally
Mr.
ugly.
President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying
God.
that they
I mean,
were not
right out of the
born in
hopper.
the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from.
Oh, I didn't hear all
You've used words
this.
like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Wow.
Well, first of all, I don't think I've
This is
ever
excellent.
been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
There's some people applauding back there.
Including employment, including opportunity zones with
What a set of
Senator Tim
nuts.
Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it.
Stop it.
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
Diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally the
definition.
So
word.
then. Would you give me a
she couldn't
definition?
answer the question, so she
Give me
didn't
a
know because she was
definition.
Sir, I'm
asking
asking
him,
you a
was
question. Very
Kamala
direct.
Harris a DEI hire?
Define it for me, if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President
never
Kamala
defined
Harris
it.
No, you
is
told me what the
only on
letter
ticket
stood
because
for.
she is a black woman?
Well, I can say
And then
no, I think
finally,
it's maybe
which I
a
thought
little bit
was a
different. So-
huge power move from the corner of the
It's a
room.
direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice
From the
President
corner
Kamala
of the room,
Harris
you have
is a DEI
Harris
hire?
Faulkner
as
that
someone
chimes
who
in right
really
here.
does
She's
that?
just
I
like,
really don't know. Could
she like
be,
takes
could be.
control of the
There are some.
conversation
I mean,
right here.
There are plenty. I know this lady right over there, Harris, is a fantastic person who just interviewed me at length. And we had a great interview, I think, and I heard you got very good ratings on that
Well, you
interview.
told me it was the longest one of your life, so we had a good discussion. Look,
She
I want to talk
completely
about
like
why
Harris.
you're
the
here
other
today.
chick.
I like Harris
I mean,
Faulkner.
it is not lost on us how divided we are.
All right, so look, I mean,
And-
there are some golden nuggets within that 36-minute or 37-minute skit that they basically did, and Trump calls her out because and started making fun because they couldn't hear, the monitors weren't set up correctly. They had some sort of audio issue, and I don't know what it was
to begin with, you mean?
To begin with, so they were 35 minutes late, and the girl in the blue,
Just hostile, man.
she was just a bitch. I mean, it's like fuck.
She
dude.
was there with an agenda to get sound
Yeah.
bites to be able to use.
That's
Yes.
exactly what it was, man.
And that, to me, that's
and Trump did not
as
buy
a
in.
journalist, that's unprofessional.
And he controlled himself, I thought. He didn't show anger. He's just like,
he let it all go, and they just went off right off his shoulder, and he responded accordingly. I think he kind of overspoke a little bit, just kind of like he wouldn't shut the. He rambled. Maybe that's a better word. He rambled a lot, and it was kind of like he did typical politician stuff. She would ask him a question, he would sidestep because it was a stupid question. It's just like, come on, they were talking about the police officers, the girl, the young lady. So from left to right, you have Trump, and then you have the lady in blue.
She from ABC?
Yeah, she was from ABC. a complete butt nugget. I mean, she was just angry. You could tell she was angry.
Yeah, she wasn't serious to have a conversation.
She had an agenda.
Right.
There was something she was reading. They fed her questions, and then the next lady, the lady in black, Trump even makes a comment about her because she's as ugly, but he with the questions. However, Trump makes a comment. It's like, well, at least she said it nicely, and it's like
it is about being civil, about being professional.
And then Harris Faulkner, of course, she hits it out of the park because she's like, well,
because she's a professional.
Yeah,
she's
polished. Me through your vice presidency,
choice.
How you chose JD Vance,
right?
And and then the lady in the black, she mentioned something about well, you are going to on your Agenda 47, not the fucking Project 2025, which is a bunch of bullshit. That's the Heritage Foundation think tank that came up with a concept. All it is a concept. Trump didn't endorse it. Musk didn't endorse it.
Well, this came out several years ago. This isn't anything new.
Yeah, it's like nobody endorsed this, but yet
someone dug it out and tried to tie it to Trump because there's something in there they don't like. I went and read a good piece of it. I was like, all right, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't read all of it.
Right.
I was like, okay, what part of this is bad?
And like you said, this is what regularly do, right? They regularly do this. People on the left and people on the right, like influential speakers or authors, the think tank, like you said, they get together and they put together what they think is the right vision for their ideology and for the government, and they want politicians to abide by it.
And it may not even be...
it's not endorsed necessarily.
Maybe a lot of times it's just a concept.
Right.
It's not necessarily something they necessarily want. It's like what if kind of scenarios.
No, I think it's pretty much, it's more than a what if. This is what they think is the blueprint to get the country back on track and to put the government's role in a proper perspective. Right, I mean, because that's what Project 2025 is all about. It's about limiting the power of the large federal government, right?
So, but I want to insert this comment regarding the whole this whole journalist convention that they were talking about. They were just poking him. I was talking about how the lady in black was asking about. Well, you said you're going to provide immunity for police officers when they kill people.
Oh, come on.
And so
he would ever say that, right?
Well, I mean, he did say that, but there's a little bit more context to it. So she goes on and elaborates about how the sheriff deputy came in and killed a woman, and there was something ugly about that. I mean, he went in there and did something.
Like he
premeditated.
Like he messed up. Yeah.
No, it wasn't a mistake. So that's what Trump kind of elaborated on. He was kind of like, no, he says that guy went in there and murdered her because there was an agenda. They had a relationship. There was something going on. He went in there and killed her. All right.
Right.
No, there's no immunity for that. He says, what the takeaway that I was promoting with Trump was that there are people that show up to a scene and there's some activity going on. They have to respond. They have seconds to respond.
Yes.
And if you get someone new out there and they reach with their left hand and they pull out their stun gun, or they accidentally pull out, their gun, their 9mm or whatever the fuck they have,
right?
And they because there was a young lady and she pulls out her gun instead of her stun, and she goes stun gun, and bam, shoots it one time like you would a stun gun. It wasn't like bam, 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 like a gun.
And she's like, "Oh my god!"
And she freaked out.
She's in prison, I think, too.
I think she is.
Yeah, that's my point, and that's what he was alluding to. That's the kind of immunity that he was trying to work out. It's because you have seconds to make these decisions, these life and death decisions. And you know what? Let's be honest. People make dumb decisions all the time. People make mistakes, and they shouldn't have to go to jail. And that's the immunity part. I mean, if it was negligence from a bad character position or some sort of evil thought or a process, you're just like, yeah, of course. Those people need to pay. There's a consequence for that. but this isn't right. At the very end of this, to bring back Project 2025, and I want you to dig up more information and to talk more about that. But one thing I wanted Trump to talk about Project 2025, Harris Faulkner asked at the very end.
I don't think he supports it.
He doesn't support it at all. But let me see if I can't.
He said he doesn't even know what the details of it are.
Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to hit play here. And
40, 50, 60%.
Oh, hold on.
And are taking
Let me see here.
Did you listen to this on the way home?
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay, right there. So I'm gonna put it right here.
That is the last word. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
bam.
Listen. I want to use what we have. I want to bring down prices, bring down costs, and I also have to stop the invasion. And remember, they're taking your jobs. These people coming in are taking your jobs.
Project
Mr. President,
2025.
I think we have to leave it there by the Trump team.
All right.
So leave it. That is the last word. Thank you so much,
See,
Mr. Trump.
I mean,
for coming.
that's just it. They don't want, because Project 2025 is a huge tool that the Democrats are using right now
Correct.
against Trump.
To scare voters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the fact that Harris Faulkner brought that up and she shut her down immediately. I mean, there was time to answer that.
Yeah.
There was time.
He could have said, "Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't support it."
Yeah, that's exactly what he could have said. And it's to me, they're snakes.
Right.
They're snakes, and this is gaslighting. They are professional, successful gaslighting. That's all they're doing. The fact that even the JD Vance and they're using the word weird. I mean, it's a collective campaign just to smear and gaslight these people. And
but that has totally backfired, man.
I mean, you seen all the memes with all the crazy weird trannies and just weird people,
and
you call us weird.
Well, they say, all they say is JD Vance is weird. And then they show all
these pictures,
one after another, weird, left things like not Kamala, but Nancy Pelosi kneeling in that really weird, where they're all social distance and they're kneeling in the whatever it was hilarious.
Yes.
Like JD Vance is weird. Okay, whatever.
They're afraid of him.
I love social media in that way, but
I think social media needs to go away.
It'll never go away because there's an addiction to it, and they make a lot of money from it. So,
I'll tell you what, though, that the EU, European Union, has put in a lot of protections for the children and our privacy that is not here in the States. Because we have these laws. What is it? Was it 587? Or there's some law that exempts these companies from a lot of the bullshit that they don't over in Europe.
And Trump was trying to reverse some of that.
Correct.
The latter part of his office, but there was a conversation today from the Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn, and she had brought up a lot of the social media and setting up safeguards. And look, this could get to the point where it's going to be intrusive. So in order to be able to protect the kids, you're going to have to volunteer some information. So they're talking about, and this is kind of a double-edged sword, because you're going to have to identify yourself getting on these platforms.
You give your age now.
Well, my
you
point is
even deeper than that.
Yeah, some
like
sort
social
of
security number.
No, they're talking about like organic. Like a fingerprint
like
or
semen,
something.
Yeah. A little tube pops out of the computer and says, "Please deposit your semen."
Yeah, there's a little stool sample here. Just kind of swipe it here.
Put in urethra.
Well, what if you're female? Good God, Jeff, who hurt you?
Yeah, that's too much.
No, but they're diving in. My point is because this is a double-edged sword.
Well, how do they do it in Europe?
I don't know. But I will tell you, but they were alluding to the fact that there's going to be some sort of identifying markers that they're going to start using it's sort of like accessing your bank account. You go to your phone, you have an app, you got a thumbprint, that you thump it, should match you. So, I mean, that could be as simple as that. And you'd be like, hey, man, look, your thumbprint matches a profile and it says you're 13 years old.
Well, Apple has my face in every iteration thereof.
Face, thumbprint,
dick
length, whatever.
Yours is dick print on yours, I think. So yours is thumbprint, right?
Mine's a taint print.
Oh,
taint. Yeah,
you used to like reach under.
Because those taint is like tree rings. You can tell exactly how old you are.
Tree rings.
Yeah, they're taint rings.
It's terrible.
What? That's a real thing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
Taint
Yeah.
rings. Yes.
Freaking
Yeah.
jackass. Oh boy. So, anyways, out of the hopper. First podcast in 2-3 weeks. Fucking shit.
But I do think that there needs to be a lot of change to social media because, like, Twitter is basically the Wild Wild West right now.
It totally
Anything
is.
goes. I can't tell you how often I'll be flipping through the news, then I'll click into a story,
Right.
and I'm reading some stuff. All of a sudden, there's just this porn.
butt sex. Just
Yes.
crazy stuff.
Wow.
Yes, I mean it's
And you try to enlarge it and replay it. And
yeah. You hit
won't
it
let
up, and your volume's up, and my wife hears it. And everything.
Oh.
But you're going through it, and autoplay
Or
is just
some-
like
it's this guy, that Arnold Schwarzenegger low voice. Harder.
Right. I wish, free speech. I mean, that's what Elon Musk is going for. So it's all right. Post what you want, but they're like maybe there is. I haven't figured it out. Maybe are there filters on there that I could say I don't want to see that, or I don't want to see that.
There's
There
got to
are
be,
no
right?
age restrictions on X though.
Actually, that's
Really?
interesting.
I don't believe there is.
I mean, there is
Well-
on normal safe search, right?
You know what,
on Google.
I don't think there is
Chrome.
on X.
I don't really look. I have X. I don't get on it honestly a whole lot. I actually at all.
I look at it quite a bit for
The sex.
yes for the porn for the news that you're not going to see on this.
Right. No, no,
The
true.
wife's at work. I'm
Well-
gonna rub one out right now.
Well, wow. A lot of times, I mean, they're in everything. All the articles that I read, that if you want to see more of the tweet that they're commenting on, you click on it and it takes you into X.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff I sent you is from X. I'll forward it to you, right?
But mine doesn't fall in, roll into porn with autoplay.
Oh, hey, hold on. Stop.
Mine
Stop.
does.
Stop. Walk us through that, Jeff. Isn't this like what is the word? Some sort of
Is it an algorithm?
yeah,
it just
yeah, an
knows.
algorithm.
Yeah,
No.
because you were giving me such
Yeah.
a hard time with the whole. And let me tell you something. The Instagram account noted.
You worked hard on that, didn't you?
Noted, and somebody is deflating what I worked so hard on because I don't know which one of
Oh,
you is
it's-
opening up the account, but all of a
shit.
sudden these boobies start populating,
I don't
and I
even
have
know.
to go in there and I have to start. I don't like that. I don't like it, but yet it keeps popping up.
I don't even know how to get into the account, so
Yeah, I'm not
that
even
rules
logged
me
in.
out.
It's all you.
No, Jeff,
It's not me.
I
I'm not logged in.
okay.
I'm not. It's you as you're flipping. You're like you just linger too long.
Oh, is
it's
that
going.
what it is?
It goes. Oh, he looked at that for more than a second. No, that's market.
Well, let's be honest.
Well,
man.
no, it knows what you're thinking.
It knows what you're looking at.
Yeah, there's such. I mean, it's so.
Awful. It's awful.
And when a nice woman goes by, you go, "Oh, look at that."
And I clicked on it. Damn it.
You're like, "It was
No,
too long.
I don't ever click on them.
It was too long."
Oh, I searched for hot naked woman. Damn it.
No, actually, what I do is I keep scrolling down and I go back.
Yeah.
Oh, he came back to that 4 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
It reset. I'm going to do that again.
More pictures like that.
Yes,
That is absolutely crazy.
But
Yeah.
I do think that X, like I said, Wild Wild West, anything goes on there. I mean, shit. And
And there's stuff that, like the worst crashes and
well, there's
like
that's
all
what-
this morbid death and
Yes.
and people getting hurt.
Yes,
And
Instagram is the
that's
same
not-
way.
That's not good.
Instagram is the same way.
Hey,
What do you think that's doing to young minds when they
Oh,
see
it's-
they're totally getting numb to all this shit,
no,
man?
These young minds are already being tormented by the video games that we have out. I know that first.
Okay, yeah, but video games and
virtual
movies,
worlds.
right? Movies and video games, they've been talking about how violence is desensitizing the young minds or any minds. But now they're not even watching video games and movies. They're watching
real life.
real life people dying, in car crashes or, falling off a cliff or, dude, I mean, that's not good for the mental psyche. It's not.
Well, I know
No.
Steven and Preston were sharing some pretty crazy things back and forth and for a while. And Steven says, he goes, "Yeah, I stopped looking at that stuff. I can't handle it anymore."
Yeah.
like Faces of Death kind of stuff.
Like people
Right.
dying, yes.
Yes.
Getting
Exactly.
Yeah, I
smashed
don't
by
like-
cars.
I
and
don't
stuff
like any
that.
of that shit. I scroll like if I know someone's gonna take a fall on a bike, even Biden riding his bicycle. He fucking actually I watched that a few times, but I mean something like that. I'm kind of, I don't want to see people get hurt. I hate it. I hate
So-
that feeling.
It's funny that you brought that up about Faces of Death. You remember how that was such a big stink?
I
when
watched that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when that came out, they made such a big deal out
It's
of that.
real.
And-
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
real.
Well, and the
Oh, so you're saying Faces of Death wasn't real?
No,
I
it
don't-
is real.
I don't know. I remember watching. That was in college, I think, when I saw
Okay,
it.
but
Yeah, you're one
My-
sick puppy. You
my-
know that?
But my point
you never
is,
watched it?
No, that stuff freaks me out, man.
I definitely didn't. But they made such a big deal out of it, and now Instagram and X are.
It's even worse.
It's a constant.
So I
Faces
see
of
stuff
death all
on
the time.
Instagram. There's like I've got one on that's loaded in there called Crashes something. I follow them, and I don't know how, but they just pops. I actually I don't even know, but nonetheless, there's constant videos of crashes, cars hitting things.
Yeah, it's awful.
You know, it is awful. I mean, some of them are kind of cool. I'm like, wow. I was like, holy shit, was that a body that just flew out of that fucking thing?
Yeah, no one
Crazy.
needs.
Do they actually survive?
Yeah.
Did you go to the comments? Did they
Yeah.
survive?
Yeah, I think you know what. I get a chuckle out of random memes that they put out there, and it could be something stupid. It doesn't matter what it is, but you go to the comments, and the comments are funnier than the fucking meme.
Yes,
and it's just
sometimes,
like
yeah.
that is hilarious. Did you guys? You guys said you watched the opening ceremony of the Olympics, right?
Yes.
So
I didn't watch the whole thing, but
what
pieces
about
of it.
the Olympics itself? Because I haven't yet to watch
Yeah.
a single event.
I'm watching
Badass.
every night. NBC has I'm not going to say, well, it is condensed, where they've
Cliff
taken
notes.
because
It's the
they're
highlights of the
7 or
day.
8. They're 7 or 8 hours ahead of us, right? Paris
Oh, yeah.
is. So
It's all
whatever-
highlights of the day.
So all that's happening in 7 or 8 hours. So they take that and they make like a 4-hour show out of it. And they have their little stories, you know, for the people. But then they'll show all the American races. They'll show, you know, some of the other highlights that other people have done and stuff like that. But they'll show the entire event chopped up, right? So you're not
Right.
sitting there having to wait for so long, right?
Right.
So we watched those instead of, and we watch it the next day.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm flip through a bunch of the bullshit.
Yeah,
right?
some of that stuff they have spoilers on. But
Yeah, but
whatever.
yeah. So you know, I don't really read the news on sports, so I don't know what happens. But we watch all the medals. You know, the ladies won the gold medal in gymnastics.
Yep. that was cool.
Yeah, the men won bronze.
I saw one of the marathon runners or the speed sprint races or something like that. And the cameraman came in and was like, did this very a gratuitous
The track hasn't
butt
started.
shots, you know, of these women. I was like, good lord.
Has the track started yet?
No,
No, I think that was
no.
from something else.
No, it was the tryouts or something.
That was
I
the
don't know.
trials, I think.
Oh, it might
yeah,
have
he
been.
came in low.
Oh yeah, it was like
nice-
zoomed right by, and it's like, good lord, I
Yeah.
could see what she had for lunch. It was
Yes.
like in there.
you're talking about the qualifiers. Yeah,
Yeah. So if you want to watch it, I recommend the nighttime. That way you're able to see the good parts.
Honestly, I have no interest.
It's really cool though. It's really cool.
I have no interest.
I like watching the athletes. I get tired of
All their muscles, the men.
Yes, I get tired of them pumping up certain athletes. Like I'm done with Simone Biles. They basically vomited all over her. So much praise.
But she brought it home.
Well, she did. But there's other girls on that thing that they didn't talk, 2 words about.
I know.
Come on, show a little exposure to these
Is
couple other girls.
Was it? Do you think she's black, and that's the reason why they were?
Well,
pushing her?
there's a bunch of diversity on this team.
Oh yeah,
There's one white girl.
I
Yeah.
saw on the women's basketball team there was in the audience the United States basketball team in the audience there was some Asian kid or dude that had a little sign that says something about Caitlin Clark. Says you guys would have won, or you guys would do better if you had Caitlin Clark or something like that.
It said you need Caitlin Clark to beat us.
And then they got blown out.
Of course they did, and he was just being fun, but they kind of went after him pretty hard. I mean,
They beat him up in the parking lot.
Yes.
no, I'm just like they made a big deal out of it. I was like, so he's just being fun
And they
about
made
it.
a big deal about their cardboard beds too.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh well, let me Google that. Real
Oh, they
quick.
complaining about their sleeping arrangements in the Olympic Village.
Well, the
Well,
bed frames were literally cardboard.
Well, I saw the room that the gymnast girls were in, and they were in metal beds.
yeah, interesting.
They were 2 to a room. So
I mean, they're always trying to be. I mean, they've turned the Olympics have turned into like virtue. Everybody has to have virtuous everything. Like they have to be carbon neutral, and they have to, all this kind of shit. Man, it's one big virtue.
well, if the frame is cardboard,
Virtue
who gives a
signaling
shit?
thing after another, right?
If there's a mattress sitting on cardboard, as long as it supports the mattress, I don't give a shit.
Hey, I don't give a shit either.
Yeah, but it was just like some of these guys were bigger, big dudes, and I'm gonna see if I can't pull that up. But Whatever. Let me see here.
Yeah, jump on it. That's it.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that would collapse my bed too.
Whoa. There we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that would collapse my bed too.
What's that? Jumping on the bed?
Yeah, like jumping around like like a 230-pound fool. Yeah.
I like my beds to be solid.
Well, going back to the opening ceremony, there maybe it was the rack that I saw that was
What,
metal.
the women rack?
The rack?
Well, that shelf right there. Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, in terms of being metal?
Yeah, I thought it was the bed, but it must have been that rack.
So what?
What's hard
these
as a
dudes are
rock?
jumping
Not
on the
everyone
bed.
finding the sleeping conditions funny.
It's actually rock solid.
Suni Lee responding, OMG, I might cry. While other Team
Oh, yeah,
USA
okay,
members
that's bad.
showing off their Nike and Ralph Lauren swag on TikTok.
It is all so cute. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to wear it.
This
my
post
gosh.
by America's
Ooh.
Olympic
He
fencers,
was cute.
revealing the amazing range
Whoa,
of meals
whoa.
in
Yeah.
a
Dial it
city
back there,
known
bro.
for
She was
its
12.
delicious cuisine.
No, they've got to be 16 to be in the Olympics, don't they?
No.
I don't
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so either.
I think it's if you're good enough.
I think
to
it's
make
a lot
it.
of fun. We've been watching it every night, and I tell you what, the men's gymnastics, I don't normally get into that at all.
Is Mitch Gaylord still on the team?
Dude, pulling
Wow,
out some
pulling
old
out-
school
yeah,
stuff.
look at
Yeah,
that.
that was 84 or something crazy. What was
Kurt
that?
Thomas? Was it Kurt Thomas? Was that another one, right?
I don't know. Anyway, but they had this.
Mitch Gaylord.
Did you hear it? Did you watch any of the men's?
Oh yeah, we watched
gymnastics?
the men's as well.
Yeah, the pommel horse guy.
Oh yeah,
That
the
was-
guy with that who couldn't
Jeff's
see.
like, I watched the
Dude,
men's gymnastics
That
teams as well.
was an awesome deal. So there's this guy that's on the team that does nothing other than pommel horse, and he's a geeky looking,
No, he's a nerd.
and he's got glasses because he's got some eye condition.
Oh, yeah. He
And
takes off his glasses. He's
and
fucking
he-
Superman.
and he literally can barely see, and his parents said he doesn't even look at the handles or he just does it by feel
Right.
because he's not blind, but I mean he can't see hardly at all, right?
Right.
Anyway, he fucking brought that shit home, man, and they won bronze, which they hadn't gotten a medal since 2008,
Yeah.
and they jumped around like it was
That was good. It was a good.
golder than gold,
And
right?
what's funny is the four of them were up there jumping up and down, and you see him in the background sitting there sleeping.
Just sitting there, just kind of disengaged.
yeah, just completely. They're just like just let
And
him go.
he didn't have the build of a gymnast, really. I
No,
mean,
he didn't.
obviously he was super strong, but I mean, it was just it was great. It was really a great
Yeah,
story.
That's a good story.
Yeah, it was fun. I like watching. I was very disappointed with the opening ceremony, and everybody was calling for boycotts and shit. And I'm like, how does that make sense to not watch American athletes that have busted their ass
It's not
to
the
get there?
athletes that did it. It's the
it's not their fault.
French Olympic Committee.
Right? Yeah,
Is what did it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
so I
it's
heard
not
some
it's not
backstory
NBA.
about this guy, one of the designers that came up with the concept that
Oh,
he's a devil worshiper.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know either, but I mean, they had all kinds of weird shit. The
They
horse
did.
and the Ephesians 6, the
And they-
Revelations kind
and-
of stuff.
Well,
And-
but they gave it all context to to
of course, but at the end of the day, it's
I
about
know.
optics. The
it,
optics.
It didn't
and,
look good.
And it's like, come on. There was no look. Anytime a dude's junk is hanging out,
That's unacceptable.
there's a problem.
Well, I tell you what, the show that I watched with Steven, the nighttime one, that was the NBC. They cut basically almost all that out.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's just
It's like
it's
because I
not-
think the shit was already starting to fly, and they went crap. But they showed
it wasn't good.
They showed the Last Supper for about 2 seconds and then went away from it.
Right.
Then they'd come back for like a 2-second snip every now and then. They didn't show the blue guy. They didn't show any of the trannies dressed dancing. They didn't show any of that
Good.
stuff. And then
That's what I
it was terrible. The whole thing I thought was bad.
that's what I don't understand. Like we've talked about this before. Gay pride parades, right? I mean, it's always about
These dudes
it's always
walking around naked.
Yeah, it's all about
twerking.
It's always
Their
about
ding
perversion.
dongs just hanging out.
It's always about perversion. Why?
I don't get it. I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I understand why they go after the church, why they go after Christianity, because Christianity won't endorse them, right? They judge them. They say their life is sin. What they're doing is sin, and so I see them taking shots at the church, right? And that because that's their arch enemy, right?
Right.
In terms of like being normal, being accepted, letting their lifestyle be what it is. But why perversion? Why can't they have a gay pride parade that doesn't have, like you said, guys wearing leather where one's
Or they're
simulating
nude.
simulating sexual acts with another one in the pickup.
Well, didn't I
truck.
send you a video
Why?
of some dude semi-chubbed out just walking down the street during a gay
Yes.
pride or parade
Yes.
in front of kids?
In front of kids.
He was chubbing it.
I would be 100% okay with them, celebrating whatever they want to celebrate. Just keep it clean. Like
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't have to be perverted.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
guys, let's turn a corner here.
Let's
So,
turn a corner.
Jeff kind of got my attention the other day. I saw the word unicorn, and I was going, oh, and it was referring, because I know it's referring to some whiskey, and he was like the Sweet Wheat 1792,
Correct.
and he picked it up. Where'd you
Yeah.
get this bottle?
Kevin brought it up in the back. We were standing there. And
You were out of town.
and he
so we did
goes,
a run without you.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah, it was on Friday, and he goes here. Yes.
Yeah, so
Kevin,
this
we
is
love you.
This is Sweet Wheat 1792, and it's about what 91 proof.
It's not real
It's
high.
96.
96 or something like that.
Actually, I think you're right. It's 91.2.
Can't read it. So yeah, I've been looking for this. I know we're into the higher proofs and everything, but I've been looking for
That's
this
all
for a
right.
while.
I mean,
I think it's very tasty.
it's okay. Hold on. Let's do this.
So here's the thing: I'm worried that we're going to say that anything less than 100 is like drinking tea. It is. There's no burn. Blah blah blah. But the truth
But that's
is,
okay.
the truth is, we've had 90 proof bourbons that burn like shit, and they are very ethanol-y, and they've been horrible, right?
With most of yours, yes.
Yeah.
Just your store picks.
Like that shit that's out there that came from
Williamsburg.
Hellhound or Hell House
Hell
or
House
whatever it is.
Yeah, terrible.
But
This one's
But you-
simple.
but you
It's
see what
it's
I'm saying,
sweet.
though?
It's delicate. Honestly, I taste peanuts. I tasted peanuts, like some sort of nutty, very nutty taste on there. It's very easy to drink. I taste a little mint.
And there's sweetness on it as well. You can
it's
pick
very sweet. I like it.
Yeah, that's
So we've got a very weeded spirit from Oregon. It was a weeded whiskey from Oregon. God damn it! Is it Oregon Spirits? Is that what it's
Oregon
called?
Spirits wheat whiskey. This is
Right.
not a wheat
Yeah.
whiskey, though. I don't believe.
Well, it says sweet wheat, so I mean, I was assuming
this is
it
a
was.
bourbon.
It's technically a
It's
bourbon.
a wheated bourbon. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
What the mash bill on here is. So it's a 2018, the best of category, small batch, 10 years or less. Really? Okay, hold on. Oh, that's
It's won all kinds of awards. It looks
yeah,
like.
it's 1 ton. It's crafted with sweet and delicate wheat instead of more of the traditional rye. This bourbon is quite distinctive from the most. The soft wheat delivers a subtle and smooth taste with gentle layers of flavor. Each sip expresses a harmony of sweetness and
I pick up a lot.
and
I pick up a lot
dryness.
of vanilla.
Yeah, they didn't go very. They didn't dive in deep about like the taste and all that stuff. It's kind of.
I get a lot of maple.
I'm not tasting that as much as I want.
Hit that Breaking Bourbon one.
Breaking
2023 release, which I don't know if that's what
Oh
this
man,
is or
it's
not.
good.
Yeah, it's
I think it's
outstanding.
really, really good.
See if they have the mash bill on this thing.
Flip that over. Is that red bottle label on there? 1792 sweet. No, it's translucent, right? Okay, so it's not that.
Sweet. Yeah, that's the same.
No,
one.
that's it. That's it.
That's it.
Well, it says it's a nicely balanced aroma centered around sweet candied nuts, these nuts, and a spicy oak, which rests atop of a seasoned oak. Its overall richness helps with an immediate positive impression. A layer of caramel sweetness adds depth and is enhanced by a light floral and earthy notes. As I'm reading it, I taste all those things. I got to tell you, I like it. I'm glad we have it. It scores for me a 6.2, but I'm glad I have it. I'm glad it's here. I mean, it's a weeded one, and I mean, if I compare it to like Nine Banded or Noah's Mill or something like that of other weeded bourbons or whiskeys.
When's the last time we had Nine Banded compared to this?
Well, you know what? Maybe we ought to try Nine Banded on the next one. Actually, I've just recently had a Nine Banded, but it was the golden, not the black label.
We need the same proof. I'll go get it.
Yeah. Actually, Oh, look, fucking Jeff finished his. Look at that. He's a fucking animal.
He is an animal.
Wow. With that being said, this is going down. All right, so I'm going to pull this back. So let's go for the palette. So the palette of this is the light to slightly medium body palette is immediate apparent. It's thinner than expected and works hard to present its flavors with adequate intensity. What it lacks in delivery, it makes up for an array of sweet flavors that are easy to like. Warm caramel, vanilla sugar cookie, a custard pudding makes its sugary base a delight for those with a sweet tooth. Fag. The palate stays. I'm not tasting the pudding, but when I read it, I'm kind of like, oh my God, maybe it's the power of suggestion, but I do taste it now.
I just know it's very sweet and very smooth.
I do taste nuts. So the finish, spice. I do taste the spice. I tasted it on the front and the back, and it's a good spice. I think this is. I think I'll bump it up to a 6.5 after. Do we run out? We do. We have 9-banded Black Label.
Not black. We have the cask out there. We don't have the black anymore.
We have to.
We don't have any.
Unbelievable.
I know. Paul, it's your fault.
Yeah, I
Did it
snuck
fall out
in
the back of your car again?
I snuck in here and drank the whole thing.
Are you sure?
I didn't see it unless you want to go look. I didn't see it.
Oh, I trust you.
I typically try to keep the brands together, but I found the cask strength, but we don't have the other one.
Interesting. Well, I would like to try side by side with this. This is definitely unique. I
Do we have
it.
any other weeded in the 90 proof range? I know Maker's Mark is a weeded, but I don't think we have
different
this.
style.
I don't think we have the same proof one though. We have the harder to find Maker's Mark.
See, the thing about Maker's Mark, it's an illusion. They have. I mean, yeah, they technically call it a weeded bourbon, but I mean, what is? Do they have the maker the mash bill?
Well, weeded bourbon it replaces the rye with the wheat. Doesn't say it has to be a certain percentage.
Agreed, but the difference between like 9-banded is that it's mostly wheat. So they have 51% corn and like 45% wheat and like 4% barley.
Right. Yeah, it's high.
Yeah. So that's what gives it such a smooth. I don't know what the mash bill on this is.
Yeah, it says undisclosed.
Undisclosed.
Yeah. And I think it's got so Maker's Mark is 70% corn. So my thought on this has more of a wheat taste than Maker's Mark, less of a wheat taste than 9-banded, and definitely away from Oregon Spirit, which I think that's mostly.
That's a wheat whiskey.
Yeah. So that one tastes like fucking, what do I call it? Like a meadow grass.
Yeah,
it's kind of like if you could envision taking a large lawnmower out to the yard.
I'll go get
that. No, I don't want any of that.
Paul hasn't tried it.
No, really?
That was a podcast he wasn't here for. Oh,
how does that work?
Really? That did not happen.
Awkward.
Yeah.
You did not have a podcast without me.
No, we did have that whiskey without you, though, for some reason.
Really? How's that work?
That wouldn't be possible.
I don't know. Have you had it?
I think so.
All right.
Go get it.
I don't remember.
Go get it. I finished mine because I thought you were bringing in
that Eagle Rare you never had.
Well, that I've never had.
Look at you fucking digging deep over here.
Yeah, I've never had Eagle Rare.
All right. Well, look, I want to do a shout out to a couple people. I want to say a shout out to Stan up at Total Wine. Thank you for checking us out. Larry, I want to say thank you for listening, by the way. Yeah, I know you're listening to our podcast, and I know you think we're obnoxious. And what did he say? He gave us some constructive criticism. He said,
try to limit how much Sean says.
Yeah, well, that's true. But he also said we need to stay focused on our subjects. And
yeah, we're all over the place. Always.
Yeah. So he's kind of like, hey, look, if you have topics, you need to go back and touch up on that, because he's kind of like, Larry's kind of one of these guys. He likes to finish shut. He doesn't want any of these open-ended conversations.
But you know what? When I go back and listen to some of our podcasts, we start a story. And there's so many interruptions that we don't even.
There's no closure.
We don't even finish the story.
There's no closure. I blame Jeff.
I do too.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, go back as far as a sweet wheat. I'll give this a 7.1.
Oh,
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it too.
I like it a lot.
But here's my problem. The problem isn't that it's not worth a 7.1. The problem is that we've got our fucking scale so out of whack that we're not pushing anything over 8, 9. It's so weird. You know?
That's what I said. Not everything can be a 7. We need to have some 4s and 5s, and I know the butter one's probably low for you.
I torched it. I gave it a 5.1.
Yeah, that Hell House out there, 1. Go back to like some of the smoky stuff. That's low for me. So, and I think we need to get smarter. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
No, I like it. I like it. It's on the like list.
Yeah.
In fact, I would buy another one.
Yeah. But the thing is, we have to be honest and go, yeah, that's not for me.
Right.
And I'll do it.
Oregon Spirit Distillers a straight American wheat whiskey. This one is I can't see because I'm fucking. But this is 90 proof, and
So that's comparable.
yeah, I mean,
Well, we didn't like this the
standard.
first time we had it.
Well, we didn't like it any time we had it. I think we had it twice.
Well, this has been a couple years since we've had it. We'll see if our palate has changed.
So we're gonna take this back. I smell the rice. I mean the grass, the wheat fields. And you ever seen that scene from Far and Away where Tom Cruise is in the middle of a field and the camera's like spinning and he's like, I kind of get that feeling when it's like
I'm tasting mint.
What is
This
the other
one's
one?
definitely not as good as the 1792.
I agree.
Well, but you know what? I taste the mint too. By the way,
Yeah, I taste
it
mint.
hit the fuck out of me. I tasted mint in that one as
Not as heavy as the
no.
Oregon
This
Spirit.
one is. You know what? I kind of like this more now. I only took a tiny pull on it because I wanted to take a small sample.
Yeah, I like this better than the other times we've had it. It felt like I was chewing on a hunk of grass last time.
Yeah, and I think it also matters what you follow.
If
know what I
you're
mean?
Drunk.
Well, I mean that too. You know what I mean? It's like it coming out of the gate. If you haven't, I mean, if you follow one bourbon with another bourbon, and it totally changes what your tongue is coated. And anyway, but I definitely think the 1792 is better than this. But I would give the 1792
but
sweet
it's
wheat. I would give it a 7.4.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good. I,
thought,
like it.
I thought it was excellent.
It's if you could find it again. I've been looking for it for several years.
Wow.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, he came out of the back and said,
Yeah, and he just
I found out some information, and I'm kind of disappointed. Before I bring up the disappointing information, I want to say a restrike on this Oregon Spirits one. This one needs to go up. This was something we were like, I don't want that.
Yeah, I drink that now.
Kind of like it now.
It's good.
The palate has changed.
Yeah, it has, and I kind of enjoy it now. It's different. It's completely different. So when we're talking about the 1792 versus the wheat whiskey, you got to understand wheat whiskey is different. This one is a sweet wheat bourbon.
Correct.
This one is a wheated whiskey. I mean,
This is
heavily.
wheat whiskey.
Yeah, it's not a bourbon.
So, like, if you were to rate the Oregon Spirit, what would you rate it? I would give it.
It's on a different scale.
I would give it like true, but I'm talking about like in overall enjoyment.
I'd be in the 6s.
Yeah, I'm on the 6. I'm gonna
Probably 6.5 or below.
I would go 6.8, but I like wheat, so
Yeah, I can't read this. Fucking eyeballs.
anyway,
Why can't they make it nice big block letters instead of
here, let me read it.
impossible to read letters?
Guys, you old fucks.
Did you say weed?
Yeah, I
Weed.
can't weed that.
I can't weed that.
I definitely can't weed that.
Well, what's interesting is we have some other wheat. We have another wheat whiskey
Lord,
out
I'm
there.
getting blown up.
The phrase wheat whiskey is completely different than any of these. Even that.
I enjoy this, man. I enjoyed both of them, although the 1792 was excellent.
Yeah. I agree.
That stood out to me.
The 1792 sweet wheat, if you could find it, outstanding. Especially if you're not used to the high proof. I think this would go over very well for someone who likes the 90s to 100 proof.
You know what? For me, they're on a great streak because if you remember, I got the 1792 single barrel from Liquor King.
Right.
And dude, I'm enjoying the shit out of that.
Well,
now the 1792 sweet wheat. I mean, 1792's got some good shit, man.
We have the full proof out there and 2 bottled in bonds.
They're got some good stuff. I like it.
And we have the regular small batch and that one now.
Very nice.
So very, very, very good.
Very good.
There you go.
I was about to sneeze. I'm sorry.
I thought you were about to throw up.
No, well,
you got
I
a purge
actually-
waiting for next time.
I threw back the drink a little bit. It hit the back of my throat. I couldn't talk because it was painful. But I'm back now.
Did the dick hit the back of the throat? Is that what happened?
Oh,
Too much overuse in Houston. Huh?
Are you? Well, we can talk about that, but we're going to talk about that in the second half because we have. I had an adventure. I was on a mission. It was a quest.
Oh, we definitely need to talk about
Oh,
that.
yes,
Because
yes.
that's obsession that I am in favor of.
Well, that's
Yes,
why we're
we're-
drinking. The second bourbon is why we're having that.
Excellent.
So, folks out there, if you have a whiskey and they discontinue it, you're like, oh my God, especially a preferred whiskey. You're like, God bless it. God bless it.
But you know what? We latched onto that one really early, and I don't think we recognized that it's something that we. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Dudes Like Us podcast, Dudes Like Us Woodcraft. Find us on all the social medias.
Yep.
Mostly Instagram. Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
We'll be back